You want to grow your own big, beautiful onions at home? I'm going to tell you how to do that. And if you haven't considered growing onions before, I really think you should because they are one of the easiest vegetables to grow and you can store them for a long time. And so you can keep onions for most of the year if you grow them at home. Onions can be grown from seeds or they can be grown from bulbs or slips. And in my opinion, growing them from onion slips or onion sets is by far the easiest way to grow them. These are onion slips, and you can find them at your local nurseries or your local hardware stores when it's the appropriate time to plant them in your area. And what they are is they are young onion plants that were planted from seed at a farm, and then they were harvested while they were still young. They cut the tops off of them, and they bundle them up, and then they ship them to you. Now, the reason I like growing from slips is because it's easy. You don't have to worry about the seed germination rate. You don't have to worry about overwintering them because you plant them in the late winter typically. And so by the time they're out in the ground, you're usually past the worst part of winter. But the biggest reason you will have success with these is if you get the timing right. So check with your local garden center or your local gardeners and see when they plant onion slips. For us here in North Texas, late January or early February is the perfect time. You'll get 50 to 60 onion slips in a set, and you want to space them 6 to 8 inches apart in your garden or raised bed. Now, in order for your onions to grow big and bulk up, they need to have a rich but loose soil. You can test if your soil is loose enough by just poking your finger down into it. If it's hard to jam your finger down into the soil, which is coincidentally how you plant these, you just stick your finger in the soil and then drop the slip in there and then cover it up, then it's going to be hard for that onion to bulk up if the soil is very compacted and hard. You plant these about an inch to an inch and a half deep down in the soil, and then you water them. And then once they start actually growing leaves, you'll want to fertilize with a fertilizer that's pretty high in nitrogen. By adding nitrogen, you're going to promote leafy growth, which is what you want because for every new leaf that grows on that onion, it's going to add a new layer to the onion, thus causing it to get bigger. Plus, you can harvest and eat the green leaves just like you would green onions. All in all, it's definitely worth giving a try in your garden.